Tulsi Gabbard, an American politician and former U.S. representative from Hawaii, has been a notable and often controversial figure in contemporary American politics. Her career, characterized by a mix of progressive ideals and unconventional stances, reflects her unique perspective on issues ranging from foreign policy to domestic governance. Her critique of Kamala Harris, a fellow Democrat and current vice president, underscores the ideological and strategic rifts within the broader Democratic Party. This video aims to provide a comprehensive overview of Gabbard's career, her political stance, and her criticism of Harris, placing them in a practical and contextually relevant framework. Born in Laloaloa, American Samoa, in 1981, Tulsi Gabbard's political career began early. Her involvement in politics was significantly influenced by her family background. Her father, Mike Gabbard, was a prominent politician in Hawaii. Tulsi's initial foray into politics was as a member of the Hawaii State Legislature, where she served as the youngest woman ever elected to the State House of Representatives. Her military service, including 2 deployments to the Middle East, provided her with first-hand experience in foreign policy, a cornerstone of her subsequent political career. Gabbard's rise to national prominence came with her election to the U.S. House of Representatives in 2012. As a Democrat representing Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District, she gained attention for her unorthodox positions, such as her staunch opposition to regime change wars and her advocacy for veterans' issues. Her campaign for the 2020 Democratic presidential nomination highlighted her commitment to reforming U.S. foreign policy and addressing climate change, among other progressive issues. Gabbard's political ideology can be described as a blend of progressive and pragmatic. She has been an outspoken critic of U.S. military interventions abroad, advocating for a more restrained foreign policy. This position reflects her belief that regime change wars have led to unnecessary suffering and destabilization, a stance that has both won her praise from anti-war activists and criticism from those who view it as overly isolationist. Domestically, Gabbard supports universal health care and a Green New Deal, aligning with broader progressive goals. Her emphasis on these issues demonstrates her commitment to addressing systemic inequalities and environmental challenges. Additionally, Gabbard has been a vocal advocate for the protection of civil liberties and reforming the criminal justice system. One of Gabbard's distinctive features is her willingness to challenge her own party's orthodoxy. She has been critical of certain Democratic positions and leaders, including those who, in her view, have compromised on key progressive issues or failed to address the root causes of societal problems effectively. Critique of Kamala Harris Gabbard's criticism of Kamala Harris has been one of the more pointed aspects of her political career. During the 2020 Democratic presidential primaries, Gabbard took issue with Harris's record as a prosecutor. She accused Harris of being hypocritical regarding criminal justice reform, arguing that Harris's tenure as California Attorney General involved policies that contributed to mass incarceration and did not align with the progressive reforms she later championed.
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. That would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
Gabbard's critique was particularly focused on Harris's handling of cases involving nonviolent drug offenses and her alleged reluctance to hold law enforcement accountable for misconduct. This critique resonated with voters concerned about criminal justice reform and highlighted a broader debate within the Democratic Party about the balance between progressive ideals and practical governance. Gabbard's criticisms also underscored a strategic rift between her and Harris. While Gabbard positioned herself as a principled outsider challenging the establishment, Harris's approach was seen as more conventional and pragmatic within the Democratic Party.
I think that it's unfortunate that we have someone on this stage who is attempting to be the Democratic nominee for President of the United States, who during the Obama administration spent 4 years full-time on Fox News criticizing President Obama.
That's
who
ridiculous,
has spent full-time,
That's
who has spent
ridiculous.
full-time criticizing people on this stage as affiliated with the Democratic Party. When Donald Trump was elected, not even sworn in, buddied up to Steve Bannon to get a meeting with Donald Trump in the Trump Tower, fails to call a war criminal by what he is as a war criminal, and then spends full time during the course of this campaign, again, criticizing the Democratic Party. What we need on the stage in November is someone who has the ability to win. And by that, we need someone on that stage who has the ability to go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump, and someone who has the ability to rebuild the Obama coalition and bring the party and the nation together. I believe I am that candidate.
This tension reflects deeper divides within the party about how to address systemic issues and pursue progressive goals. Practical implications. Gabbard's career and her critique of Harris illustrate broader dynamics within American politics. Her positions emphasize the complexity of balancing progressive ideals with practical governance. Her foreign policy stance, for example, challenges conventional wisdom about American leadership and interventionism, prompting discussions about the U.S.'s role in global affairs. Similarly, her critique of Harris reflects ongoing debates about the effectiveness and integrity of criminal justice reform efforts.